I'm here at the southernmost boundary of our land, and this morning I'm going to do a walkabout, check on the progress of everything, and kind of make a list of what I got to do this week. We've had company for the last few days, so I haven't had any time to get anything done. And it has rained several times during that time, including 2 3/4 inches last night. So I'm expecting things to be very overgrown. The new land is looking pretty good. I seeded this and fertilized it a couple weeks ago, but the grass you see growing here is mostly what was here, but there should be some fine new grass coming up here and there. Yeah, there is. You could see areas where it was so heavy with brush and weeds that there's almost no grass growing. And then a transition line, and then grass from the field coming back. We've been cutting this whenever we cut the lawn, but it's growing at a crazy rate. See, this is the kind of grass we want here, not this. This, I believe, is yellow foxtail. So we just got to keep seeding and fertilizing and cutting, and we should end up with mostly or all this kind of grass. Fescues and other stuff that the horses will eat and not just use as a toilet. I'll likely come in here and spray this once with 2,4-D. Possibly not even that, because it's getting late in the year and 2,4-D will be a bit less effective now. Mowing it might be all that's needed. We'll see. Yeah, we seeded heavier at the entrance to these paths, and you can tell it's taking hold pretty good. Really does need a mowing though. The youngest boy and his fiance stayed in the deluxe accommodations here. Let's see how that looks on the inside. Beautiful, nice little bed and all that. We had to move the normal inhabitants outside for their stay, and now we have a bunch of girls staying there for a bonfire this week. My daughter and a bunch of boys and girls are going to have a bonfire in the pasture and hopefully clean up some of the wood over there, get it burned up. Hi, big kitty. That's Maisie Cat. So the gardens are past their prime. They have, yeah, I just identified this, but I can't remember what it is again. There's just so many different types of weeds. This is a weed, this is a weed. So, as I said in a previous video, I'm going to convert all of these gardens, basically any place where we can't mow, I'm going to convert them into patches of prairie, different types of prairie grass. This one here, I'll probably have big bluestem growing in it, with various other grasses down on the side here, and then wildflowers. The wildflowers that are already established will stay here, and I will grow the grasses in between them. And then it'll do whatever a prairie does. This thing looks like it's making a comeback. I mean, it's completely buried these zinnias got overloaded with water last night. As I said, 2 3/4 inches of rain, and they've flopped over, so they're near their end as well. I may just mow this back. They'll turn and come back up, so I might just leave them. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of time with all the work that I got on my plate, so I might just leave them alone. Yeah, you could see they're flopping everywhere. Here is my pepper plant, which is finally exposed now that the zinnias are flopping. It's got some flowers on it. It had a little pepper on it, but yeah, it's got some down here. I don't know if it'll get anything worthwhile. The tomatoes, we've picked so many tomatoes, we cannot eat tomatoes anymore. And my wife's going to make some salsa, but we've given away as many as we can. And we still have so much that they're just dropping off. Not sure. I think I'll just grow one of these cherry tomatoes next year and possibly space out the timing of them. Grow one real early and plant one late. And I won't be planting it up here. I'll be planting it in the garden. A hummingbird kind of following me around. The horses are locked in their dry lot, which is what a dry lot is for. You could see how the rains were pretty intense here last night. We had some hail as well. 2 3/4 inches. It's flooding around the Kickapoo River. We kayaked on the Kickapoo a couple days ago. I wouldn't try it today. Horses are kind of sad. They have to eat from the frankenfeeder instead of all that grass out there, but too bad. When they're on a wet pasture, they destroy the pasture, and in the end, this is much better for them to stay off pasture when it's wet. I'm going to go take a look at the corn. Yeah, this area right here is just completely overgrown. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this area. It's kind of high maintenance, and we're trying to make everything as low maintenance as possible. Low maintenance and natural. This stuff came back big time. That looked like crap during the heat of the summer, but it's looking pretty nice now. I think those are impatiens. The Concord is just massive, but the berries are still green. And you can see there's some berries back there, might not be able to see that are just starting to blow up. The corn has gotten so tall that the heavy rains have made it flop. And this is what happens when you have a damaged stalk. It'll grow ear of corn at the very top of it, right with the tassel. For some reason that was damaged. Yeah, the rain last night really did a number on this. You could see a bunch of stalks broke. What a mess. Oh, yep. So I'll have to get out here and cut that stuff out of there. Again, with the tomatoes, we have just so much tomatoes, and they ripen overnight and start dropping onto the ground. We'll have to get rid of those couple and get out and pick these. We're going to make a big batch of salsa. We got to pick the carrots for the horses as well. And these peppers, I think they're past their prime, but there is still a few peppers on here. I mean, they're getting really big now, but the peppers themselves don't look all that hot. Here's one. I don't think I'll ever plant these again. The purple, they're pretty nice looking, but they're a very thin pepper. They're more of a decorative pepper. And we just grow these for the guinea pig, so he prefers a meatier pepper. The onions, we harvested them while the boy was here, and he used them in cooking. There's a couple left, but we have witchgrass invading. I don't know if you heard the chickens, but Miss Maisie was over there taunting them. She likes to tease them and make them squawk. Here's that spot where that yellow nutsedge was growing amongst my sample little bluestem. What I did was dig it up and spread it out thin on the ground, looking for the tubers that they reproduce from, and I couldn't find any, but I left it there. I read that if exposed to the air or to the sun, that the tubers die really fast, so I figured I'll let it die back a bit and then fill the hole whenever. This is the prairie patch. It's starting to fill in, and I still don't have a real good ID on which is which, but I'm guessing this is little bluestem growing here. If not, I got a really, really good patch of some kind of weed. I get this yellow foxtail growing here and there, and I've just been yanking it out as I walk by. A lot of this stuff is turning, I don't know, like a dark purple. Getting dark purple streaks on it, or the whole blade is dark purple. So it looks like it's kind of dying back for the winter. Again, I hope it's the right grass that's here. I do believe it is, but only time will tell. There's a lot of stuff in this prairie patch that has blue stems, which I believe are a little blue stem, but then there's some of it that has blue stems that is witchgrass. This is witchgrass. It kind of looks like corn. At least I believe that's witchgrass. This is witchgrass growing right next to little bluestem. It's a little bit darker leaf. It's fuzzier, but as soon as it starts making this broom, it's pretty obvious. Not sure how well you can tell on video, but it's getting very dark out, and the wind stopped completely. We're supposed to have severe thunderstorms in a short while. I thought it was going to be 2 hours, but it looks like I might be mistaken. So I better get this walk hurried up. Vineyard looks okay. I mean, for the amount of disease it had this year. Not too bad. All of these were cut back to just single sticks, and they're coming back quite nicely, which is to be expected. Just going to leave them alone till the end of the year now. This is tillage radish, which I should probably cut the top off of. But everything else is looking pretty good. I mean, it still has downy mildew, which there's no real way to get rid of it at this point. It's too late in the year to worry about it anyways. I still got to get the end posts finished, but I've been waiting for cooler, damper weather, which is what we have now, so anytime now I can start on that. Down here in the North Prairie patch, this is the American chestnut that the rabbits killed back over the winter. They girdled the trunk, and this is what's grown this summer. It's starting to die back a little bit, but I'm going to have to protect it better this winter. or actually longer. I had it protected fine, and I took the cage off too early, and the rabbits got to it. I have to spray here one more time and then seed this with oats, and I got to get it done pretty quick. This is witch's grass. I have this growing in the upper prairie as well. It has the reddish stem, but it's very, very fuzzy all the way up, and it's much coarser. So I'm getting to where I can tell it apart pretty easy from what I believe is little bluestem. At least I can tell what that is and yank it out. I can hear thunder rolling in the distance, so not sure how much time I have. It looks like I might not get anything done today other than this video. This is where my daughter's going to have her bonfire in a couple days. I'm hoping her and her friends can scavenge up all this wood that's laying around and get it burned. Not much going on down here. This is the northwest corner of this pasture, but our land goes on pretty far that way down this road. I'm going to put a gate in right here. I actually have the gate ready to go, but getting the pasture done is more important than putting a gate in, so the gate will wait until the pasture is done. All of these trees that I'm standing in right now, this is the last thick patch of woods in this pasture, and they're all going to come out this winter. You can see where I've been sowing seed in here, a little bit here and there. Whenever I kill back the weeds, I sow some seed, so at least I got a chance of the correct grasses growing. But these weeds are really tenacious. You know, this was sprayed not that long ago, and the weeds just really come back quick. The thing that's holding us back is all this dead wood. We need to get the dead wood out of here, get the trees gone, then cut the stumps flush with the ground. Then we can get in here and mow this. Once you can mow it, then you can keep it under control. We could get in here with a dozer and make quick work of it, and it's not all that expensive, but it really jacks up the ground. So I think we'll just continue doing what we're doing, slowly convert this to pasture. The grass really is coming in pretty thick where it's been seeded from last year. The newer stuff from spring is making headway too. And this stuff was probably tossed 2 weeks ago. This will be nice and thick in not that long of a time. Yeah, it's everywhere. You can see where all the stuff from the last spray is dying out, but then all this new stuff is coming in. But eventually I'll win. This will be grass soon, and this stuff won't be able to reseed anymore. The apple tree is just loaded with apples. Apples everywhere. I got to get in here this fall and cut off all them suckers and then thin the tree a little more. I do a little bit each year. It's a wild apple tree and it was super overgrown. It had giant suckers running up the middle, so I got rid of them last year. I probably have, at least 100 little trees to get out of here this winter, or this fall maybe. But trees this size, I can get rid of I can get rid of 20, 30 in a day, easy, and just stack them up in a big burn pile. So it shouldn't take too long. Here's my horse jumps. My daughter's training Mark, the red dun, to jump. And she made these all by herself, did all the woodwork and screwed them together and stuff. She did a pretty good job. This apple tree, which is much smaller, has much larger apples, but unfortunately this one's going. We don't need an apple tree right here in the middle of the pasture. We're planting bur oaks along this line. Too bad, so sad. And there are the horses looking longingly at the grass, but they need to stay out of here. You know, there's damage, or there's potential for harm from falling trees, falling branches, and they tear the hell out of the land when it's wet. So, oh, there's a cat again. So they remain penned up on hay where they have shelter from the storm. And we'll finish up back by the Oak Savanna Project. It's looking real nice back here. The oats, this is all oats through here. The oats is doing fantastic. It's not taking in a couple spots, but what I think I'll do is come in here with the garden weasel and just lightly till that under. I'm going to try to get this burned by the end of the week. That'll be a good fire. I think I'll do it right by this tree stump again. And then I'm going to hack my way back into there and get the whole perimeter down again. Just like this, a big pile, and get it ready for another burn later on. I'll have a good start before winter. At some point I'm just going to mark all the trees, and that'll be my guide for the winter. I'm only going to mark the trees that are staying, because most of them are going. Well, that'll wrap it up. I can hear rain on the trees over in the west pasture, so it's on its way here. Hit the like button if you like our videos, and subscribe to our channel, and click on the update button if you want to be updated when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day.